Real Madrid did everything right this summer. They spotted the gap in their midfield before anyone else did. They picked the exact profile they needed, a player who protects the back four and frees everyone else to attack. They opened talks first, weeks before their rivals even got involved. They had the history and the stadium behind them. Here's the uncomfortable part. None of that mattered. Before we continue, subscribe and hit the bell if you enjoy premium football stories like this. There's a lot more coming your way. This isn't a story about Barcelona being better. You already know that version. This is about something stranger. How a club can identify the right problem, move for the right solution, and lose it anyway. By the end, you'll understand what Real Madrid needs to build. Not another name for the shortlist. A structure that makes any name work. It starts with Rodri. For most of the summer, he looked destined for the Bernabeu. He grew up idolizing that badge. Spanish papers called him Madrid's top target. Then the story flipped. This wasn't a squad player changing clubs. Rodri won the Ballon d'Or in 2024. He captained Spain to the World Cup this summer and picked up the tournament's top individual award along the way. Rodri's camp reportedly felt Madrid moved too slowly. They read hesitation as a lack of real interest. Barcelona moved with more certainty instead. Rodri chose Catalonia. That's the decision in one sentence. A homegrown legend picked the rival because the rival acted like it wanted him more. It's easy to stop the story there. Barcelona wanted him more. End of analysis. But that explanation falls apart once you understand what Rodri does on a football pitch and what Real Madrid lost. Rodri doesn't win matches by winning tackles. Plenty of midfielders do that. He wins matches by letting everyone in front of him take more risks. Picture the moment fullbacks push high. The front four crowd the penalty area. Someone has to sit underneath all of it. That player decides in half a second whether to step out, cover a gap, or slow the whole move down. That's not a defensive job, that's a control job. Toni Kroos and Luka Modric solved this for a decade. One controlled tempo. One found space between lines. Together, they let Cristiano Ronaldo and later Vinicius Jr. focus purely on attacking. Neither midfielder had to think about what happened after Madrid lost the ball because the other one already had it covered. That partnership is gone now. Aurelien Tchouaméni inherited the job alone. One player doing what two used to share. Madrid didn't ignore that gap this summer. They spent hard to fix it. Marc Cucurella arrived from Chelsea. Bernardo Silva joined from Manchester City. Ibrahima Konate signed as a free agent. Denzel Dumfries completed the group. Reports say Jose Mourinho requested every one of them directly. Reports also link Madrid to Alessandro Bastoni and Adam Wharton. Bastoni could ease the pressure on midfield by carrying the ball forward from defense. Wharton offers composure and range for the future. Neither replaces what Rodri would have given the team today. Both are patches, not the missing piece. Compare that to Madrid's business 12 months earlier. Their new signings averaged 21 years old back then. This year, that average jumped to almost 29. That's the shift in one number. A club building for 5 years from now, suddenly building to win right now. There's a real case for that plan. Sometimes a team needs experience over potential, but look closer at one specific signing and the picture gets stranger. Bernardo Silva doesn't play like a player with one job. City used him everywhere, dropping deep under pressure, drifting into gaps nobody else filled, reading the moment instead of following instructions. At City, Silva rotated through 5 different positions some seasons. That flexibility made him brilliant there. It makes him harder to place here. Pedri plays a similar role for Barcelona right now. Mourinho's best teams have rarely used a player like that at the base of midfield. His holding midfielders screen and win the ball, then hand it to someone else. Think Makelele, think Casemiro. Silva reads space. He doesn't screen it. Mourinho is asking him to solve a puzzle he's rarely asked anyone to solve before. That's the mismatch in one sentence. Mourinho has an interpreter playing an enforcer's role. Hold that thought, because it connects to something bigger. It explains why Barcelona is so hard to play against in the first place, and it isn't only the high line everyone blames. If you're enjoying this breakdown, tap subscribe now. It genuinely helps the channel keep making these. Barcelona's press and their defensive line work as one system, not two separate risks. One shared assumption drives the whole structure. The pressure further up the pitch will make the next pass predictable. When that assumption holds, all 11 players move together. The high line stops looking like a gamble. It starts looking like a trap closing on time. When the assumption breaks, the whole structure breaks with it. Not because one defender got careless, because every player trusted the same read and the read failed. Inter Milan found that gap in last season's Champions League semi-final. Atletico Madrid found it too in the quarter-final that followed. Both nights ended the same way. Barcelona dominated the ball and still went home. That's Barcelona's real vulnerability in one line. You can't fix it by dropping the defense 5 yards deeper. You either commit to the press fully or the whole idea falls apart behind it. That's the team Real Madrid have to solve. Not with individual brilliance in a single moment, with a structure that survives contact. This summer, Barcelona and Real Madrid spotted the exact same weakness in their own squads. Both needed a young, explosive attacker to stretch defenses and open space for their creative players. Both went out and signed one. Barcelona paid roughly 22 million euros for Karim Adeyemi. Real Madrid paid more than 130 million for Yan Diomande, according to reports. Diomande scored 12 goals in his only Bundesliga season. Adeyemi already has years of Bundesliga experience, plus international caps under the exact manager who signed him. That looks like Madrid paying market rate for a better player. It isn't. The price tag isn't what separates these two signings. The conditions around each signing are what separate them. Adeyemi joins the third year of an established system. His teammates have spent 2 full seasons learning each other's runs. His manager gave him his first international cap years before either man arrived in Spain. Diomande joins year 1 of a brand new coaching regime. 4 or 5 other new faces are learning that regime at the exact same time he is. None of them have played under this manager before this summer. Same diagnosis, same type of player, completely different conditions for that signing to work. Adeyemi's pace already stretches defenses away from Lamine Yamal on the other flank. Diomande hasn't had a single competitive minute to build that same understanding yet. That's the real gap this summer exposed, and it has nothing to do with talent. It's about which club is asking a new player to join something that already works, and which club is asking 5 new players to build something that doesn't exist yet. History offers a quiet warning here too. The last time Barcelona chased a 3rd straight league title back in 2011, Mourinho stopped them. But his Madrid side had already spent a full year learning to defend as one unit before that title arrived. He's the one manager with a track record for exactly this job. Even his own history says it rarely happens in year 1. That brings us back to Rodri. This was never about losing a transfer battle. Madrid didn't hesitate because they didn't want him. They hesitated because a control midfielder didn't fit cleanly into a squad. They were also stacking with proven win-now pieces. That hesitation is the real story. The outcome isn't, which means Madrid's fix was never about landing the right name. The fix is coherence. A squad where every new signing knows what the players around him will do before the ball arrives. That takes time on the training pitch, not another name in the market. It takes a full preseason of repetition, not a signing announcement. Barcelona has that. Madrid is still building it with 5 new faces under a brand new coach in year 1. Real Madrid sit above 30% to win the league, according to Opta's model. Barcelona sit above 45. That's a real gap. It isn't a canyon. Barcelona's aggressive structure still carries real risk of its own, and recent European exits prove it. This isn't a lost cause for Madrid, but the pressure sits on them now to prove that talent alone can close a gap that looks structural, not financial. Real Madrid's Barcelona problem was never about Barcelona. Barcelona. It's about whether a squad this new can move like one unit when the moment demands it. Barcelona already can. That's the version of themselves Madrid has to catch, not outspend. If Mourinho pulls this off in year one, it becomes one of the sharpest rebuilds in recent Clásico history. If he doesn't, we already know where people will point first. Subscribe if you want more of these breakdowns. And if you want to know why Barcelona are still chasing a striker on top of all this, go watch Here is Why Barcelona Want Julian Alvarez. It's already on the channel.